I want to ask you something. How long have you been taking your probiotic? 3 months, 6 months, a year, longer? And in that time, has your bloating actually resolved? Has your digestion changed? Has your energy, mood, and immune system improved at all? If the honest answer is no or not really, then I want to give you a different perspective on probiotics. Not that they're bad, not that they can't work, but they can be very inconsistent. And the gut health benefits you're looking for are rarely going to be found in a probiotic alone. Hi, I'm Lauren Grace, acupuncturist, integrative medicine physician, and co-founder of Healus. And when I first started my integrative practice, I was working with my Healus co-founder, Brian, who at that point had already been in practice for over 20 years. And he told me right from the jump, don't bother using probiotics, they don't work. And I remember thinking, that sounds crazy because everyone gives their patients probiotics. That's just what you do for gut health. But then I started running these gut panels. Now these were DNA-based stool panels that actually looked at the different strains of bacteria. And what stood out to me in these panels wasn't just when the bacteria was too low, but when it was actually too high. Because too much of a certain good bacteria actually has a negative impact on the gut. When I researched, I found that excess amount of certain strains are actually associated with digestive issues and inflammation and even brain fog. And that's when things started to shift for me. You see, we tend to think of the bacteria in the microbiome as good bacteria, but they aren't necessarily good bacteria. They are neutral bacteria. They are good when they are in harmony and in balance with one another. And the health of your microbiome is really a direct reflection of diversity and balance. And this is where the average probiotic can fall short. So let me walk you through what happens when you take a probiotic. First, you don't even know if the probiotic that you're taking is alive to begin with. Probiotics are very delicate and they require certain storage and temperature, and a lot of times some of the ones you're buying are actually just dead on the shelf. And those that are active don't always make it through stomach acid because it's such a harsh environment. So right out of the gate, the probiotic that you're taking, you don't even know if it's making it past your stomach. Now let's say it does survive. There's actually no guarantee that your microbiome is going to welcome those strains with open arms. There was a study published in the journal Cell back in 2018 that actually showed that the majority of probiotics that people are taking actually don't really colonize in the gut. They end up passing right through. The microbiome literally rejects them. So even if you are taking a probiotic consistently, there is no guarantee that what you're taking is going to be accepted and colonized within your microbiome. And the next question you need to ask yourself is, do you need the strains that you're taking? Most probiotics contain a handful of strains, like 3 to 5 different strains, but your microbiome actually contains thousands of different strains. We know that there's trillions of bacteria, but amongst those trillions of bacteria, there are thousands of different strains or species. And the health of the microbiome depends on diversity and balance of these strains. So when you are taking the same few strains every day, how do you know if you need them? And the answer is, you don't. Even if you ran a stool panel test to see which strains you're low in, one, they only test for a certain amount of strains, not the thousands that you have. Two, your microbiome actually is shifting throughout the day with everything you eat, you drink, your medications that you take, your stress levels. Your microbiome starts to shift and change. So you never really get an accurate picture of what strains you're low in and what strains you need more of. So even if you try one of those probiotic tests, you're essentially working with a moving target. And at the end of the day, you just don't know if those few strains that are in your probiotic are ones that you need or not. And this is the part that I think people don't talk enough about. Say you do actually need those strains that you're taking. Great, right? You take them and say they colonize, say they make it through stomach acid, they colonize, they're accepted by your microbiome, and you start feeling better. What happens though when you keep taking those same strains every day or for months on end? At some point, the scale is going to tip, and those strains that you once needed will now be in excess. And like I mentioned with those gut panels that I was running in my practice, too much of a certain bacteria is not necessarily a good thing. And when a group of bacteria becomes too dominant, it actually starts to throw off the balance of your microbiome. So the problem with taking probiotics is it's a giant guessing game. You're guessing on whether it's active or not when you buy it. You're guessing if it's gonna make it through your stomach acid. You're guessing if it's going to be colonized and accepted into your microbiome. And you are guessing on what strains you need, and you're guessing on how long you should be taking it for. And now here's the next layer of this. A lot of the benefits that are attributed to probiotics, like lowering inflammation, improving digestion, helping to balance and regulate the immune system, aren't just coming from the bacteria itself, but they're coming from what the bacteria produce. One of the most important being a compound called butyrate. Butyrate is a short-chain fatty acid, and it's known as a postbiotic, and it plays a huge role when it comes to gut health. Butyrate helps to lower inflammation in the intestines. It helps to strengthen and repair the gut lining. It supports healthy motility and digestion. And overall, it creates an environment where the healthy bacteria can actually thrive. So instead of only focusing on taking a probiotic in the hopes that you can add some good bacteria to the microbiome, you want to start looking at how do we support the environment that these bacteria live in? Because your body is already designed to create and regulate its own microbiome, but it does need a healthy environment to do that in. So instead of just taking a probiotic in hopes that you maybe need the strains and that it actually makes it to your microbiome to begin with, this is where I would start clinically, focusing on the environment that those bacteria live in and creating a healthy foundation for the bacteria to thrive. The first way that you can lay that healthy foundation is by eating a lot of fiber. A diverse intake of fiber is essential for a healthy microbiome. You really want to aim for 25 to 30 grams a day. And the reason why fiber is so important is because fiber helps to fuel and feed the bacteria. And it's especially important because it helps to feed the bacteria that produce butyrate. So it supports the entire ecosystem. Now, if your gut is already compromised, if you have IBS or inflammatory bowel disease, then I know that taking in a lot of fiber is not always easy or even possible. And that's because fiber is not the easiest to digest and break down. So if you already have a compromise, trying to load up your system with a bunch of fiber can make your symptoms worse at first. And if that is your situation, this is where it can be really helpful to supplement with butyrate. And this again is because butyrate is so essential to creating a healthy gut environment. Butyrate is the thing that's going to be maintaining and strengthening that gut lining and lowering inflammation and promoting healthy digestion. You need a good amount of butyrate in order to have a healthy microbiome. Now, if you are going to supplement with butyrate, you should know that it does come in a few different forms. In our clinical practice, we use butyrate in the form of tributyrin. Tributyrin is the most stable and bioavailable form of butyrate. And unlike other forms of butyrate, tributyrin is actually absorbed very slowly along the intestinal tract. So you get optimal absorption in the small and the large intestine, which is what you want when you're looking for a butyrate supplement. And butyrate combined with good nutrition creates that healthy gut environment for your microbiome to thrive. I'm not against probiotics. I think they were a great idea at the time. Our knowledge of the microbiome has advanced so much. We just know so much more now. Back when we were first studying it though, we understood that the bacteria played such a big role in the health of not just the gut, but the whole body, that it seems like a good idea to just add more of it. And in theory, it is. It just, in practicality, it's not really working that way. Like I said, probiotics are a giant guessing game, and they may work for you. If you do need a certain strain of bacteria that is being colonized, it may work for you for a certain period of time, but that time is limited. Bottom line, probiotics are a guessing game, and our understanding of the microbiome has evolved so much. We now know that it's much more nuanced than just adding bacteria. It's about balance, it's about diversity, it's about what these bacteria produce, like butyrate, that are doing a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to gut health. And that is why there has been so much more focus on the postbiotic butyrate lately, because butyrate is leading us to the next level in gut health breakthroughs. I hope you found this video helpful. If you could give us a like, that would be amazing. And if you think this video could help someone that you know, please share it. If you have any more questions about probiotics or the postbiotic butyrate, please leave it in the comments. And you can find more about everything we talked about in the description, including our butyrate supplement, the Complete Biotic. Thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful day.